On July 17th, several passengers on board a Delta Airlines flight out of Las Vegas fainted due to excessive heat in the cabin. The aircraft reportedly sat on the apron for over 3 hours without air conditioning, and at least 5 passengers were wheeled off the plane after paramedics were called. Let's look at the details in today's video. On Monday, July 17th, Delta flight DL555 was scheduled to depart Harry Reid International Airport at around 13:45 local time en route to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. However, the flight found itself stuck in a queue behind more than a dozen other flights, forcing it to wait on the apron. The Boeing 757's air conditioning system was not functioning, and thus the aircraft's passengers suffered in the cabin as the aircraft baked under the Las Vegas summer heat. Temperatures reached between 111 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit, or 44 to 46 degrees Celsius. Clearly, these are cabin conditions that would be unbearable for most people. Fox News field producer Krista Garvin was on the flight and gave a first-hand account of what happened. About 2 hours in, several passengers began to suffer ill effects from the heat. The pilot eventually instructed the cabin to, quote, "hit your call button if you're having a medical emergency." Flight attendants were seen issuing oxygen masks to those worst affected. Garvin said, "The sanitary crew came on board because some people had thrown up. I want to say one woman walked up the aisle. She was visibly ill. She couldn't even open her eyes. She was swaying back and forth." The situation worsened, with multiple passengers losing consciousness and some soiling themselves. The pilot later said that some of the flight attendants had fallen ill, so the flight may not be able to leave at all. Paramedics boarded the aircraft equipped with stretchers, and all passengers would eventually disembark. While there isn't a specific law mandating functional air conditioning systems on board commercial aircraft, the Federal Aviation Administration's Code of Federal Regulations requires airlines to maintain comfortable and clean cabin air conditions, and air conditioning is the only way of doing this. During this recent ordeal, passengers were told they could exit the plane if they wished, but it might take days to get on another flight to Atlanta. The airline initially rescheduled the flight for the next morning, but then cancelled it altogether. Delta said in a statement, "We apologize for the experience our customers had on Flight 555 from Las Vegas to Atlanta on July 17th, which ultimately resulted in a flight cancellation. Delta teams are looking into the circumstances that led to uncomfortable temperatures inside the cabin, and we appreciate the efforts of our people and first responders at Harry Reid International." Have you ever been on a flight that wasn't air-conditioned properly? Let us know your stories in the comments. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.